And that is a big thing too, on how you're supposed to conduct yourself while in the truth. You can't just do everything you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't do what you want to do to Esau. Just like you can't do what you want to do to two-thirds. Shit.
We on.
Oh, we own.
You go ahead and open up, brother.
Khan. Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Dash, Barakathum. Double honor to our apostles, a great millstone. Salutations to the occupant of four corners for pushing this truth with sincerity. Okay, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. All right, it's like Tazawan with Elder Yatazak. All right, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. We pray and hope that this lesson is edifying. Okay, now we're going to go into Romans, the 13th chapter. All right, and this is a beautiful topic. We were just speaking about it before camera. You know, this is on how you conducting yourself. The first half is really conducting yourself in the truth. Okay, being under subjection under whatever empire you're in. Now we're under the subjection of America. Okay, so we do have to abide by certain things in this place. You know, we can't just take this place down with our own carnal will. You know what I'm saying? And this is a big topic through the spirit because you got a lot of Israelite camps out there who's not going by the proper outline or the blueprint on how you're supposed to be in the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? So no further ado, Lord willing, this is edifying. We're gonna let it rip. But you got it, bro. I'm finna just send me off this post.
Come. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that commentary. I pulled the commentary from the Mysore app.
Con.
Under what's this guy? The Guild commentary in the Mysore app going into Romans 13. And now the way that we've been taught and the way that we teach this commentary is matches up with it. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, when you understand the times that was happening back then during the time of Romans and the time now, it's the same thing.
Yep.
You come into the truth under a certain circumstance, right? Like say you work for somebody, you got a job, you come into the truth. It's a way that you conduct yourself to where you able to keep your job, not be a liability to the ministry, and so on and so forth.
Right.
You see, you don't go to your job boasting and professing the truth to the point to where you get fired, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you conduct yourself. It's a time and a place. It's a time for everything.
Right.
You see? And 9 times out of 10, at your job ain't it.
Yeah. 10 times out of 10.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you understand being in the spirit and understand the situations and circumstances, whether you a leader or a follower, but a believer nonetheless.
Yep.
Right? I got to know how to conduct myself, whether I'm with the elders or whether I'm with somebody that's younger than me. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Paul is conveying these things through all these different situations and these examples. All right. So what we want to do, Lord willing, we want to get into some commentary to make the point come home. We want to get into the King James Version as well as the NLT. And Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the edification of pop forth to those who deserve, to those who are seeking it, and then everybody else, it is what it is because the understanding is out there, and you want to be however you was acting. All right, but check this out. This is the commentary, right? It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the app. All right. This is the introduction to Romans, the 13th chapter. It says the principal things contained in this chapter enjoin the saints are the duties of subjection to magistrates. Magistrates being higher ups, people that are over you, right? Your boss.
Yeah.
Right? It says love to one another and to all men and temperance and chastity in themselves. It begins with the duties related to the civil magistrates. This is your boss, right? This is your supervisor. This is somebody that's above you, right? This is the police. You know what I'm saying? The judges, authority figures in Babylon, right? Because we correlating this to today, right? It says it begins with the duties of related to civil magistrates, requiring obedience of everyone unto them, and that for these reasons because the civil magistrate or government is by divine appointment, right? Get that in Daniel where it talk about how the Lord put the kingdom in the hands of whoever he wants to.
Yep, I had that on deck.
Yeah, and then
Daniel 4.
and then in the Apocrypha, what's that? Sirach 10 and 8, where it talk about the kingdoms being transferred and translated.
Yep.
Let's get those two real quick.
All right, want me to start from I'll start with the Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and that the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
That's what I'm saying. And the living is those that are awoken to this truth.
Right.
We understand that the Lord is controlling this thing. We understand that the Lord put the Edomites in rulership in the last days, right? Because we got a precept also in the Apocrypha said that Jacob is the end. I mean, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Going into that Sirach 10 and 8. You got that?
Yep, Sirach 10 and 8. It's okay, hold on, give me a second. I pull it up. Let me see. Copy. And as well, this is what Yahushua told his disciples. I'm being harmless as harmless as a dove and wise as a serpent.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And basically, Paul was saying the same thing in his own way.
Yep. So this is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 10th chapter in the 8th verse. And it states, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
That's what I'm saying. Through unrighteous dealings and all those things that the Edomites are guilty of.
Yeah.
Right? The Idumeans are guilty of all these things. So therefore, this kingdom is going to be taken away from him. So he knows his time is short, and he's going for the gusto. You see?
Yep.
All right. Now, knowing that, right? It says, because the civil magistrate or government is by divine appointment. You see, the Lord put this man in that position, right? It says, wherefore, to obey them in things of a civil nature is to obey the Most High, right? So basically, if the sign says stop, you stop right there, right? Yep. What you doing is avoiding getting pulled over and having to deal with the authorities and having to slow on.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, we are a sovereign nation. Yeah, we do have our own laws, statutes, and commandments, but we also have a driver's license.
I got a precept.
So according to that driver's license, you have to abide by certain rules. If you abide by those rules, which were ordained by the Heavenly Father through this devil, then you don't have to deal with the devil on that high of a level, because it's levels to dealing with it.
Yep.
You see, and you can agree with our adversary quickly. That's the same thing that the Lord was saying. It's the same thing that Paul was saying.
I got it on deck. You said something? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I got that precept on deck for you real quick. Con. This is Matthew 5:25. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer.
And that's what I'm saying. What are you agreeing with? What are you agreeing with? You agreeing with him about the rules that were set in place.
Yep.
You see? So if the police officer pulls you over and said, hey, you ran that stop sign or you ran that red light.
Yep.
You got to deal with the consequences on that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you stop at the red light, you won't even have to worry about it. Being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove even applies before you leave the house. If you doing what you're supposed to do, you ain't got to worry. That's what, if you ain't speeding, you ain't got to worry about getting pulled over.
Right.
You see? But if you do get pulled over for speeding, and the police officer say you were speeding, you're not supposed to argue with him and say you wasn't when you clearly was.
Yeah, knowing you were speeding, you ain't got to argue with him.
That's what I'm saying. It's unnecessary strife.
Yep.
And that's what Paul is talking about. That's what the Lord was talking about.
Yep.
You see? Go ahead.
It says, Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time thine adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
That's what I'm saying. So check this out. It says, it says, wherefore to obey them in things of a civil nature, it is to obey the Most High, and to resist them is to resist the Most High.
Yeah.
And also because of the pernicious consequence of such resistance, damnation follows. Right? It says, for the magistrate not only causes terror by penal laws, but he inflicts punishments on delinquents. Right? He's in rulership. You see? So as we continue, you're gonna see more and more how it makes sense, right? It says that but he inflicts punishment on delinquents and is the executioner of the Most High's wrath on vengeance on such. Because keep in mind, he put him over us because we sinned.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the reason why you have to follow, don't do this, don't run the stop sign, don't run a red light, don't do this, don't do that, is because you couldn't master, don't put no other guys before me.
Right.
So since you couldn't follow my law, follow this devil's law, which is going to be most strenuous. Right?
Yep.
and is the execution of the Most High's wrath and vengeance on such. And likewise, because of the profit and the advantage of obedient subjects, such not only have the goodwill and esteem of their rulers, right? Because the Lord said, if you if you do what you're supposed to do, even your enemies will be at peace with you.
Right.
Right? I'm cool with my supervisor at work. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't do all that extra. He don't need to know that I'm in the truth. He don't need to know. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what it's talking about.
Hey, and and then
you got it.
Yeah, the scripture says, be peaceable with all men. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't out here, being tough guys and starting shit just because we know that we Israelites. You know, that ain't basically that's what that's what the beginning of this chapter is going into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because we know we're Israelites, that don't mean we're supposed to be hey, we gonna be stepping on Caesar's toes, and then that's gonna be a whole nother ball game.
Right.
Real quick, I got a preset because what you said earlier that reason why we're under this devil is because we sinned. I want to bring out Baruch 3:8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Okay. Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Man, and can't no man redeem us from that curse, but Yahweh. Right.
That's it.
Under the order of Yahweh.
Yep.
Which is thy kingdom come, thy will be done, all wrapped up. Yep. You see? Was that it?
It says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Yep, that's it.
Okay, come on.
So hey, we in captivity, man. Yeah, a servant can't tell his Lord what to do. In this, in certain instances, in this specific one, we can't be. It's just like in a similar way of back in the Roman Empire, you had brothers who found out that they was new converts to the ministry, and they was under a certain servitude, over a particular master for however many years. Just because you are in this ministry, that don't mean you go to your master. The scripture spoke about being subject to masters. Right. Just because we have the truth, that don't mean we're supposed to basically be a terror. Fuck you Esau. Well, every Edomite we see, fuck you Esau.
No, I say
he can take your ass to jail, man.
I want to say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We have the ability to make our enemies be at peace with us through letting our light shine. You know, you got it.
Hey, Paul, he was he knew how to operate in different areas. Hey, even through languages. When it was time for him to speak Greek, he spoke Greek. When it was time to speak Hebrew, he spoke Hebrew. So we really gotta be like men of many of many colors, so to speak. You know, you got it, bro.
Right.
That's it on that.
I'm gonna get back to this commentary. All right.
Con.
It says, such not only have the goodwill and esteem of their rulers and are commended by them, but are defended and protected in their persons and properties. It says, moreover, the apostle enforces the necessity of subjection to them, not only in order to avoid punishment, right? But to answer a good conscience. This duty being according to the light of nature and the dictates of a natural conscience, which, if awake, must be uneasy with contrary behavior. So it's basically saying, through the spirit, I will say, when you follow the laws of the land, because that's what you're subject to, because you realize that you sin, it's showing the Lord that you can follow instruction.
Yeah.
Show me that you can. You already showed me you couldn't follow mine. Show me you can follow the heathens. Show me you can listen to my son. That's how you get back to me. It's a process.
Yep.
You see? And just coming into this truth, yeah, you coming into this truth. You find out that you royalty, but you did fuck up.
Yep.
You royalty that fucked up.
Yep.
So it's a consequence for that.
Yep.
Right?
That's that bitter. You know, we with this truth, we go through the bitter and the sweet. Mm-hmm. Part of that bitter is being in captivity. You know? We got it.
And for the same reason, he urges the payment of tribute to them. Get that render unto the Caesar what Caesar's.
Yep. I got that right.
That's what I'm saying. So you can also see through the spirit that Yahushua was dealing with Paul.
Right.
Because a lot of the situations that Paul went through was similar to Yahushua's.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Having to be on the run and having to be shipwrecked and having to be it was a situation on the ship. It was a situation on, you know what I'm saying? It was a situation on the ship. It was a situation in prison. It was a situation with being on trial. It was a situation with having to prove themselves to the wicked scribes and Pharisees. Mm-hmm. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Same thing for the rest of the Bible. Right? It says, as well as on account of the reasonableness of it, taken from the magistrates, spending their time and using their talents in attendance on the service of the public, and which is further confirmed by general rule of justice and equity, or of doing that which is just and right to everyone, of which particulars are given. And to get the precepts for verse 7, right? It says, and then after a general exhortation to pay all sorts of debts, owing superiors, inferiors, equals, right? Whoever you owe, pay it back, man. Yep. You see? The apostle passes to the debt of love owing to one another and to all mankind, which is exhorted to on his consideration that the performance of it is fulfilling the law, right? Just like basically he boiled down to, look, treat them how you want to be treated. Treat yourself how you know what I'm saying? When it comes to your brother, you treat him like you want to be treated.
Yep.
If you don't murder your brother or sleep with his woman or cover his things or do all this shit to him, then that proves that you love him. So instead of listing everything that you can and can't do, if you don't want nobody, if you don't want to be treated foul, don't treat nobody foul. And then the rest of it take care of itself. Right? Yep. It says verse 9. All right, it says, and since it is the nature of love not to work ill, but to do good to the neighbor, the conclusion follows that it must be as asserted that love is the fulfillment of the law, and by all means to be attended to as a principle of duty of religion. Next, the apostle proceeds to exhort the saints to be watchful, chaste, sober, and temperate, have a temperate course of life. That's what we do. We go to work, we do our job, we go back to the crib, and then the rest of our time is spent doing this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Should be. It says, as being perfect, agreeable to the privileges they enjoyed, to the present condition they were in, and to that future state of happiness they were in expectation of. He exhorts to be watchful and sober and not indulge in sleep or slothfulness, in consideration of the time which they were in. You see, we in a time of getting ready for Jacob's trouble.
Right.
Other people are in a time of partying and mirth and trying to stack their bread and chase the bag.
Yep.
You see? It says, and with which they were acquainted, it being not night but day. At least the one is wearing off, the night is wearing off, and the day, right? It says the time of life being short and the day of salvation approaching nearer and nearer. Wherefore such actions should be done as are agreeable to the day and not to the night, and to not darkness. And particularly such works of the darkness are dissuaded from. That's what I'm saying. We're in a time now where we're supposed to be getting rid of the old man and getting rid of sin because we prepping, you know what I'm saying, to be delivered. It says, which are contrary to temperance and sobriety and rioting and drunkenness, and to chastity and to chambering and wantoness, and peace and concord, and strife and envy, and frequently follow upon the former. And the chapter is concluded with an exhortation to faith in Hamashiach Yahushua and an imitation of him, expressed in a figurative way by metaphor, taken from the putting on of garments and the dehortation and the immoderate provision for the flesh. So basically, it's that, you know, you're gonna have to get out of the flesh, you're gonna have to be in the spirit, you're gonna have to be brotherly, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to submit to your supervisors in order to be able to do all that. Because if you don't submit to the powers that be that the Lord set up, you can find yourself in a position to where you're not able to be a part of the ministry.
Yep.
So you can't come in the truth and then ruin your opportunity to be a part of this ministry by being out of pocket.
Yep.
You got to be able to understand that. All right. Now, it says the apostle, having finished his exhortations to the church in relation to the several duties incumbent upon both officers and newcomers as members of the church, with the reference to each other and their moral conduct in the world, right? Their moral conduct in the world. Okay? You can't be a demon in the world just because you found this truth. When you think about it, all our forefathers that were in captivity, they got raised up to high positions, is because they walked in the spirit. You see, Daniel got taken into captivity. It wasn't in Daniel's lot to die in captivity. It was in his lot to be raised up. So the Lord filled him up with the wisdom to suffice in that time. All right. It says the former chapter contains. It's one part I'm looking for in particular. All right. Let's see. All right. This is hence the Christians in common were suspected to be of the same principles, and all the Jews, none were more averse to the payment of taxes to the Romans, magistrates, and than the Galileans. And this being named by which Hamashiach and his followers were commanded, were commonly called, might serve to strengthen the above suspicion of them and charge against them. Moreover, some of the Christians might be tempted to think that they should not be subject to heathen magistrates, right? We Israelites, we sovereign, we ain't got to, no, the Lord put it on us.
You see that right now with these other camps, man. You see, when you really go into it, you see the exact thing with a lot of camps right now, man.
Yep.
You know, now this is conducting yourself. This is a blueprint on how you should be, knowing you're an Israelite.
Right.
This is a blueprint. You got it.
Right. It says I'm gonna say Israelites. It says Israelites might be tempted to think that they should not be subject to heathen magistrates, since they were generally wicked men and violent persecutors of them. Right. But we already know the Lord put the spirit on them to do that. You see? It says that it was one branch of the Jake liberty to be freed from subjection to them, and certain it is that there were a set of loose and licentious persons who bore the name of Israelites, that despised dominion and spoke evil of dignities. Wherefore the apostle judged it advisable, especially to exhort the church of Rome, right? Because you're in the thick of it when you're in Rome. It says, and the members who dwelt there, where was the seat of power and civil government, right? So especially if you're in Rome, you need to make sure you in pocket. You know what I'm saying? It says, so to behave towards their superiors, that they might set a good example to the Israelites in several parts of the empire, right? Because the Roman Empire was vast. It says, and wipe off the aspersion that was cast upon them, and if they were enemies of the magistracy and civil power by the means of higher powers, he means not angels, right? So the higher powers that it's talking about in this chapter is talking about the rulers. It's talking about the Edomites.
Yep.
They was in rulership. It ain't talking about the angels right here. You see? So if the Edomites tell you something and the angel tell you, no, that ain't what that is, you got to understand that. You see? So when we say, okay, I'll wash my hands more. I'll wear my mask more. I'll make sure I get in the shower more. I'm cool with all that. I don't like it, but I'll do it. Right. But that's what I'm saying. When it comes to alternative measures, that's where I draw the line.
Yep.
You see? Because you obey the heathen rules that they got set up because you're in captivity. But once it gets to the point to where you infringing on your God-given laws, that's when you stand up and you say, no, and then you leave it in the hands of the Heavenly Father, the outcome.
Yep. Hey, 1 Corinthians, going into we in this current situation that we're in now, you know, where they poking people, the scripture tells you not to defile your temple. So those things right there is where you spiritually discern. See, this is about spiritually discerning what to do and what not to do.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you willingly going to get your ass poked up by the devil, well, you're defiling your temple. Okay, and it says, "No, ye not that ye are the temple of the Lord." Okay, so that's what Esau, the devil, wants you to defile your temple to be destroyed. That's what this MOTB thing is about. You know, we ain't gonna go deep into that, but that's a part of the defiling your temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
That's
so
right.
When it comes to that, that's when that's the drawing of the line, man. Okay, all right, that's the drawing of the line. We're not gonna be, you know, bowing down to the image, you know, which is being a part of this system in this pit, which worshiping, you know, these devils and you know what I'm saying. But if you got a Mo, you know, a Bonte boy at work, you can't, you know, do nothing to him. You just got, even if he's your boss. Right. So you got to spiritually discern. Hey, you know, Jacob. Well, I ain't listen to him because he gay. You know, but he your supervisor. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to, like I keep saying, this is how you conduct yourself being an Israelite. And this is a very heavy point and topic coming to the times that we're coming into now. You know, the times that we're coming into now, you're gonna have to know this Romans the 13th chapter. Okay, spiritually. All right. Now, you know, just to say that, because now they're gonna use this chapter for you to go defile your temple. Okay, so we are, you know, being the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, knowing that straight way on the understanding, you know, you can't flip it to us going into doing what Esau wants, you know, on that side. You know what I'm saying? But you got it, bro.
All right. It says by the higher powers, he means not angels, sometimes called principalities and powers. For unto these the Most High had not put in subjection his people under the gospel dispensation, nor ecclesiastical office, or those who are in church power or authority, for they do not bear the temple sword, nor have any power to inflict corporal punishment, but civil magistrates are intended, and these not only supreme magistrates as emperors and kings, but all inferior and subordinate ones, acting in commission under them, as appears from which are called powers, because they are invested with power and authority over others, and have the right to exercise that power in a proper way. You see, the Lord is distributing this power. You see, so when he gives power to the heathen, he's giving heathen power for his will. You see, and you have to understand that, right?
Yep.
It says, and the higher or super eminent ones, because they are set in high places and have superior dignity and authority to others, the persons that are to be subject to them are every soul, not that the souls of men distinct from their bodies are under subjection to civil magistrates, for of all things they have the least to do with them. Their power and jurisdiction not reaching the souls, the hearts, the consciences of men. You see, that's the difference. They laws don't have no bearing over our spirit. We doing what we got to do. When it comes to the laws of the Heavenly Father, now you're dealing with a whole different set of circumstances here. Right? It says, especially in matters of religion, but chiefly to their bodies and outward civil concerns of life. But the meaning is that every man that has a soul, every rational creature, ought to be subject to the civil government. Mm-hmm. This is but his reasonable service, and which he should, from his heart and with all his soul, cheerfully perform. Look, just do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You showing the Lord you can obey by being humbled down to, you got to obey the heathen now.
Yep.
But in doing that, you showing and building your spirit up, because you showing that you understand what's going on. You understand the times you're living in. You understand how to conduct yourself in this truth.
Yep.
Right? It says, in short, the sense is that every man should be subject. Right? It says, where the part is, I think I'm coming to the part that I was looking for. It says, all men belong to me, as here every soul. That is, every man, all the individuals of mankind, of whatsoever sex, age, state, condition, ecclesiastics, not expected. The Pope and his clergy are not exempted from civil jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. You see? So even the Pope can't just be running stop signs and doing whatever he want to do. And, you know what I'm saying? So they, according to this, it says, and so Hamashiach himself and his apostles pay tribute to Caesar, yea, even Peter particularly, whose successor the Pope of Rome pretends to be, right? Subjection to the magistrates designs and includes all duties relative to them, such as showing them respect, honor, reverence, suitable to their stations, or speaking well of them, all these different things. That's why you see the apostles heap hot coals on certain men's heads. Mm-hmm. You see? Having that understanding. Like I said, when we talk about Donald Trump, when we talk about, you know what I'm saying? We speak well of them in certain aspects. I mean, of course, they demons and got whatever they got going. You know what I'm saying? But we can speak good of them because they fulfilling prophecy at least. Yep. It ain't nothing good about Biden except that he fulfilling prophecy. You see? So you got to find a way to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right? It says, using them with candor, not bearing hard upon them for little matters, and allowing for ignorance of the secret springs of many of their actions to conduct actions and conduct, which if known might greatly justify them. Wishing well to them and praying constantly, earnestly, and heartily for them, observing their laws and injunctions, obeying their lawful commands, which do not contradict the laws of the Most High. Right. Period. So you can speak well of the president in a certain circumstance. It's gonna come a point in time where you're gonna have to curse him out. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. Timing is everything. Mm-hmm. You see? Right. You follow their laws and their rules until they get out of pocket. Yep. Once they get out of pocket, you tell them hell no, and you put it in the hands of the Heavenly Father after that. You did your part.
Yep. I got a quick creep shot.
Come.
Yep. Real quick. This is Titus 3:1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and to powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men.
Check this out. It says the Most High is the fountain of all power and authority. The streams of power among creatures flow from him. The power that man has over all creatures, the fowls of the air, the beasts of the field, the fishes of the sea, is originally of the Most High. Yep. And by a grant from him, the lesser powers and the exercise of them in the various relations men stand in one to another, are of the Most High. As the power the husband has over the wife, parents over the children, masters over their servants, and so the higher power that princes have over their subjects, for it is of the Most High of heaven that sets up kings as well as pulls them down. He is the King of kings, from whom they derive their power and authority, from whom they have the right of government and all the qualifications for it. It is by him that kings reign and princes decree justice. You see? So having said all that, you have to understand that the Lord put the Idumeans in a position to rise up and say, look, we can cross out the Messiah and replace him with medicine and technology. And all you got to do to show that you down is let us get in you. Right? You can't do this. You can't do that. Okay, fine. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. The Lord already said I got to lose my life to gain it. The Lord said I got to let go of the world. Yep. You just reinforcing what the Lord said. Yep. You see? All right, now go ahead and I'm gonna get the NLT. I'm gonna get you get the KJV, and then we can go ahead and jump into the chapter now because we want to make sure that we established this understanding. Okay. You see, this the understanding of obey your masters is just as heavy as the rape topic. If you don't have a thorough understanding of that topic, you are going to lose. Yep. All right, let's go. You can just read. You will say you can just read straight through, and then if any precepts and all that come, we'll pull them.
Okay, Con. Well, real quick, you want to just grab Acts the 5th chapter.
All right.
Yep, Acts 5 and 2 Thessalonians 2, and we can just hit them. Hit them real quick pointers.
Where do we want to start at the next 5?
29. You can start from 29.
All right. This is Acts chapter 5, verse 29. It says, then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. The God of our fathers raised up whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
I'm sorry. I just want to get to the point. When Gamaliel first started speaking, 35.
All right. This is Acts 5 and 35. It says, and he said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. Mm-hmm. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught.
So this was basically a zealot, Israelite, who was trying to overthrow the Roman Empire for being in captivity, being oppressed. Now you got to remember, just like now we oppressed. All right, we in Rome 2.0. Okay, so what they was going through back then, we're going through the same thing now. And anybody who's ever tried to step up against the government, they done been destroyed. They done been taken out. They done been in prison. All right, they done been poisoned. They done been all type of things that have happened to them, man. All right, and you can't forget what is it? Genesis the 4th chapter, I believe it says that if you touch Esau, if you touch Cain, all right, he that have an ear, let him hear. Hey, it's gonna be seven. What is that? A sevenfold upon him.
Yeah.
So if you do anything to this devil, hey, that's a judgment to you because the Lord set him up. Okay.
That's right.
You keep going.
All right. Verse 38, it says, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it shall come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it. Least happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High. And to him they agreed.
I think you skipped 37.
Oh, so lucky.
Yep.
Acts 5 and 37. Yep. After this man rose up, Judas of Galilee, in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him, he also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed.
See, they want to pay taxes. They want to pay the tribute.
Yep.
They was being heavily taxed. And what did he do? What did Judas do? He wanted to rise up against the Roman Empire. And what happened? he was taken out, right along with the followers. See, these is examples that you other Israelite camps, and I'm gonna just say the names, man. ISUPK, okay? You guys bearing arms and talking about doing something when the end times come. All right, when things get chaotic, ISUPK teaches in their classes that they're gonna stand up against the government, man. They're gonna roll on Esau. Okay, well, roll on Esau then, man, and your ass gonna be like Theudas and Judas of Galilee. All right, and you can't say we're lying because hey, a brother in the camp was going to you guys' classes, man. You know, y'all don't. It ain't like it's a doctrine that y'all teach out to the public, but those are one of y'all in-house conversations, man. Do something to E, and without waiting on Yahweh Shemel Shai, you're gonna end up like Theudas and Judas of Galilee, man.
That's it.
You got it.
All right, I'm gonna go back. That was it on that.
Yep, that's it.
All right,
and then I'll go ahead and read. Well, you know what? 2 Thessalonians, because it's only one verse.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep. 2 Thessalonians. What is it? 2 and. He said, he that letteth will let 5.
All right. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 5. It says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you of these things. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
That's it. It's just that simple. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Until the Lord says, all right, that's enough, Esau, and take his ass out. But the Lord set him up that way, just like he did with Pharaoh. Okay, he hardened Pharaoh's heart just to show his power.
That's right.
He let him rule. He gave it to him, you know. But until it was that time for his ass to get taken the fuck out, and that's the same thing gonna happen. Yahweh shine the holy angels. All right, he's gonna come and destroy this place, man. That's why the scripture speaks about wait ye upon me until I rise up to the prey. You know, because we have no power. Little do you know, we get sick. Hell, we hit our toe on the goddamn frame of the bed. You in hella pain. We ain't got no power, man. You know, we gotta wait on Yahweh Shemel Shai, and it's really that simple to understand. You know, seeing that this damn devil has a nuclear missile. All right, this damn devil has 5G, has radioactive waves, man. You know, his witchcraft and all things, man. We need the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai to stop him. Okay. But that's pretty much it on that. And I'm gonna jump right into Romans.
Okay.
All right, so this is Romans 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High.
All right, now stop. Stop. Read that again.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
The higher powers that it's talking about is talking about the rulership that we under right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The president, the police, the authorities, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's go.
There is no power but the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
That's what I'm saying. So the Lord, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, whether you believe it or not. It is what it is. Mm. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. Remember the story in Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, okay, with the false prophet. I believe his name was Hananiah. Okay, and he falsely prophesied that the Lord gave him the order to take down Nebuchadnezzar, man. You know, and that was basically a false prophecy at the end of the day. And what happened to him? He was destroyed. Okay. So whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of the Most High. Because remember, the Lord set up Nebuchadnezzar. Okay,
Mhm.
and they that resist shall
The same
receive.
thing. The same thing happened with Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel obeyed the rules until Nebuchadnezzar went too far.
Yep.
You see, that's an example given. It got to the point. I would say it got to the point where it was too much. You know, you got it.
Yep. And they that resist shall receive themselves damnation, for the rulers are not terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying because you got to. I would say you got to be on point all the time. You got to be on point in your daily life, and you got to be on point spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord will reward you openly. You see, I will say the Lord will bless you. The Lord will bless you with a supervisor that you can deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Showing that you can be obedient. Go ahead.
For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he
That's
beareth
what I'm
not
saying.
the sword in vain.
That's what I'm saying. I would say, if you think you're finna go up to your job and act a fool and cuss the cops out when they come and do it, no, this nigga, the Lord gave this nigga the sword.
Yeah.
So
Right.
don't get it twisted. You ain't sovereign yet.
Yeah.
Esau will get in your ass, and the Lord will allow him to get in your ass because you tempted him by being disrespectful.
Yep.
You see? All these dudes getting shot in the street and all that shit. What the fuck you pulled me over for? I know my rights and all this shit. Pow!
Boom, boom.
That's what it's talking about.
Yep. That's
You
right.
can get your ass shot off. Don't get it twisted.
Yep.
Just because you learned a few scriptures don't mean you can't get your ass blown the hell away. Because you can die as a nigga or you can die as somebody in this truth.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's right. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that
Now
doeth
get that
evil.
word minister.
Yep.
Look up that word minister.
Got you.
You see? That's what I'm saying. Because the deceiver and the deceived are his. The Lord controls both sides, man.
Perfect.
You see? A minister, I want to say, we're going to get the definition.
All right. This is a minister.
Strong's G1249.
Diakonos.
Diakonos.
Okay. Diakonos. It says one who executes the command of another.
One who executes the command of another.
Mm-hmm.
Who had resisted his will? Is Esau doing anything the Lord didn't tell him to do?
Ooh. Perfect.
Go ahead.
That's pretty much it. I ain't got to read the rest of it. That's it. One who executes the command of another, especially of a master, a servant, attendant, minister. So Esau is the Lord's minister. Esau is a part of the is a servant of the Lord, man. Okay, he's a minister of the Lord, carrying out duties. Okay,
That's it.
that's why. What is that? Psalms. What is it? 13 and 17 or 17 and 13? It says, "Who is thy sword?" All right. So the Lord uses Esau to carry out duties as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go back.
I got it. This is Psalm 17 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword."
See,
right?
So the wicked is the Lord's sword,
right? It says, "From men which are thy hand,
Ooh.
O Lord, from the men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes." So that's what I'm saying. It's talking about the wicked, and it's likening them to men, Idumean men. So who's the devil? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The mystery of iniquity has been revealed.
That's right.
You got it, bro.
That's it. That's it. Verse 5, Romans 13 and 5, it says, "Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues tribute to whom tribute is due,
Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, man. It ain't worth it to try to fight that battle, man. Look, if you go ahead and pay your taxes and do what you're supposed to do, you can go out and preach.
That's it.
How you gonna be a part of the ministry if you get killed?
Yeah, your ass got a warrant. Look, man, you got a warrant outside. You on the highways and hedges, man, and some shit pop off here. You getting carried the fuck away because you got a warrant, man. You know, pay your tickets. I know it's annoying as shit. You know, and sometimes, you know, being subject to payments, our pockets be empty as hell. But hey, you know, that's what you guys, you know, pray to the Lord, and you know, he'll help you out. You know, the Lord gonna be there for you, but don't just, you know, hey, I got personal experience with just neglecting shit. All right, putting myself in a fucking hole. All right.
Yep. Everybody.
But you can fuck yourself up. You can fuck your livelihood up by not even paying certain tickets off, man. Right. So don't be an asshole. Just do what you got to do. You know, get your goddamn money no way. You got the damn devil on the dollar. This ain't our shit, man. You know. But I'm gonna grab that real quick. I gotta pull it up. Matthew 17.
Okay.
Matthew 17:24. It says, and when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter. It said, does not your master pay tribute? And you got another thing, man. You got to really understand the Lord has covered everything. Everything you can think of has been covered. Okay, all topics. You got to know the chapter and the verse. It says, 25. He said, yes, and when he was come into the house, Yahushua prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute? Of their own children or of strangers? Peter saith unto him, of strangers. Yahushua saith unto him, then are the children free? Notwithstanding, lest we should offend them. See, notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go thou to the sea and cast an hook and take up the fish that first cometh up. And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money. That take and give unto them for me and thee. Pay the tribute. Okay. So let's go back. Verse 7. Render therefore to all their dues. Tribute to whom tribute is due. Custom to whom custom. Fear to whom fear. Honor to whom honor. Owe no man anything, but to love one another, for he that loveth another has fulfilled the law. That's the transition of coming to the brotherhood now. Okay? Which is all. It says, for this thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. This is what Yahushua taught. Okay? And yet what Yahushua tell his disciples? He said, when I was naked, you clothed me. When I was sick, you visited me. When I was in prison, you came unto me. And they asked, when did we do all these things? And we do all those same things to the brothers that's amongst us, man. We doing it to Yahushua. That's the brotherhood. Okay? All the 10 commandments, the blueprint of the 10 commandments is really dealing with on how you dealing with your neighbor. Okay? Right. How you loving your brother, how you deal with your neighbor. You ain't supposed to murder your brother. You don't covet. You know, you don't commit adultery. You know, you don't bear false witness on your brother. You know, these are the outline and blueprints.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. And like you said, that outline, that the 10 commandments is, that's what I'm saying. That's how you treat each other. You got laws, and you got laws into what you can and can't wear, and that wasn't the most important thing at the time. Right. The law wasn't done away with it, but it was more important for us to learn how to treat each other. Man, we treat each other like shit, bro.
Yeah.
Ever since that, ever since Eve and the serpent in the garden, bro, we have treated each other horribly, man.
Horrible, man.
You know what I'm saying? And the Lord said, look, at the end of the day, if you don't do these things to somebody that you don't want, if you don't want these things done to you, don't do this to nobody, and everything else will take care of itself. I promise you. Right. That's what I'm saying. If you can stop coveting and killing each other and stealing from each other and all that, we'll be fine.
Yep.
It's not that hard.
That's right.
Let's go.
That's right. All right, verse 10. Romans 13 and 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
Letting you know that a neighbor is your brother.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed.
That's what I'm saying. It's time to stop playing. It's time to stop. I'm saying it's time to get serious about this truth, man. You know? You know what I say? If you always say, however long you've been around, man, it's time. I was like, because whether we believe it or not, this time is flying.
Man,
stuff is happening
for no one.
Yeah, all kind of stuff happening in the spirit world behind the scenes, with the elites and all that. Keep on thinking you got all goddamn day.
You don't. Ahead. Hey, Ezekiel the 12th chapter. We're in a time of the effect of every vision. Okay, no more vain visions, man. Hey, this thing is moving. Mm-hmm. So after all of that understanding, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake up out of sleep, man. All right, and when you go into that word sleep, and I always make mention of this, that sleep goes back to being hypnotized or hypnos. Okay. So you got Jake out here that's actually sleepwalkers. Okay, they're not redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right, what is that? Ephesians 5. Not walking circumspectly. Mm-hmm. Okay. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent. The day is at hand, and this is the night. We're in the night. This is that gross darkness. Okay, the day is at hand, and the day is what? Yahushai. Okay, that bright morning star. It says, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. See, that gross darkness, the people, the mentality. All right, being a part of the image of this beast, being the flesh in the cauldron, Ezekiel 11. All right, not knowing who you are. All right, and let us put on the armor of light. All right, which is the scriptures. Let us walk honestly as in the day. Us walking honestly is doing this work. Okay, being a part of the ministry. That's us walking honestly. All right, giving the full doctrine, the 100% truth. As in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy. And this is the vibration of the earth. Okay, the rioting. That goes back to, remember, this is the Roman Empire, but these epistles was given to those churches because Jake was still in the mindset of that empire that they was in. When they came into the truth, rioting. That goes back to the worship of Bacchus. When you go into that word riot, right? Let me get it real quick. Jake was still taking part of those damn customs. Riot. Let's hear the Greek.
Strong's G 2970.
Komos.
Komos.
And it says, a nocturnal and riotous procession of half-drunken and what is that? Frolicsome. I believe I said that word right.
Frolicsome.
I
know frolicking. Is a synonym.
Yeah, mirth.
Yeah,
drunk. You know what I'm saying? What's this? This is going out at night. You know, going to these clubs and shit. Check it out. It says, fellows who after supper parade through the streets with torches and music in honor of Bacchus or some other deity, and sing and play before houses of male and female friends, hence using generally a feast and drinking parties that are protracted, if I'm saying that word right, till late at night, and indulge in what is that? Revelry. I can't say that word. Revelry, right. So what? The club closed at 3 a.m. Club closed at 4. Clubs closed at 2. The bars. That's that riot. That's the rioting, man. That goes back to the vibration of Bacchus in the Greek Empire. Okay, so knowing all of these things, Paul was breaking it down. Hey, now this is another thing you got to look out for: partaking in those customs. Okay, verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting, and in drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness. All right, which is being undisciplined. Yep, being undisciplined through lust, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Rob Bashar Ike, man, most spirit, less flesh.
Most spirit, less flesh. Okay, so this is why we're supposed to be spiritually minded and not carnal. Okay,
right?
Because that what is the carnal mind is in enmity with the Most High.
That's right.
Okay, and the mind, that carnal mind, plays on that flesh, and you're gonna do the things that pops in your head, and the flesh is gonna go ahead and let you indulge in it, man.
Yeah, the Lord say the Lord will give you up to it. He'll give you over to it. Yeah, he gave men up to certain things.
Yep.
All right. You got any precepts?
Yeah, real quick on that lust part.
I was saying we gonna when we end it, I'm just gonna read straight through in the NLT.
Okay,
It gives more understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's cool. You can go ahead. I'll just quote it. It speaks about refraining from thy appetites.
Okay.
Yep. Refrain from thine appetites, which is the flesh. You know. So you got it.
This is NLT version of Romans 13:1. It says everyone must submit to respect for authority. 13:1 Romans. It says everyone must submit to governing authorities, for all authority comes from Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by Yahweh. So anyone who rebels against the authority is rebelling against Yahweh, is rebelling against what Yahweh has instituted, and they will be punished. Agree with our adversary quickly. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Right? It says, for the authorities do not strike fear in people who are doing right, but in those who are doing wrong. That's what I'm saying. So if you drive in the speed limit and you're not drinking and driving, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to worry about all that. It says, for the authorities do not strike fear in people who are doing right, but in those who are doing wrong. Would you like to live without fear of the authorities? Do what is right, and they will honor you. The authorities are God's servants, sent for your good. But if you are doing wrong, of course you should be afraid, for they have the power to punish you. They are God's servants, sent for the very purpose of punishing those who do what is wrong.
Who is thy sword?
So you must submit to them, not only to avoid punishment, but also to keep a clear conscience. Pay your taxes too, for these same reasons. For government workers need to be paid. They are serving the Most High in what they do.
Ain't going in.
That's what I'm saying. Arguing with the cops ain't going to look. They just doing their job. It is what it is. Yeah, they assholes. Yeah, they some whole ass niggas. But still, why did you get pulled over?
Right.
Right? It says, now, going to the next section, it says, love fulfills the Most High's requirements. Verse 8, it says, owe nothing to anyone except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirements of the law. It's plain. If you love your brother, you're not going to steal from him.
Yep.
And he's not going to steal from you. That's love.
Yep, that's it.
Love ain't no bro hug and shit. No. Because a nigga give you a bro hug and pick your pocket.
Hell yeah. Or fuck your wife or your girlfriend.
You know? It says for the commandment's sake.
It's an action. It's like love is an action.
That's right.
You know?
It says for the commandment's sake, you must not commit adultery, you must not murder, you must not steal, you must not covet. These and other such commandments are summed up in this one commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you don't want nobody to murder you, don't murder nobody. If you don't want nobody coveting your shit, don't be coveting. If you don't want nobody to, what else did they say? Man, if you don't want nobody to commit adultery on you, don't do it.
Right.
If you ask that woman, do she got a man, and she say yes, conversation over.
Conversation over. That's it.
Verse 10, it says, love does no wrong to others, so love fulfills the requirements of Yahweh's law. This is all the more urgent, for you know how late it is. Time is running out. Wake up, for our salvation is nearer than when we first believed. The night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here. So remove your dark deeds like dirty clothes and put on the shining armor for right living. Because we belong to the day. We must live decent lives for all to see. Right? Don't participate in the darkness of wild parties and drunkenness or in sexual promiscuity or immoral living or quarreling or jealousy. Instead, clothe yourself with the presence of the Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach, and don't let yourself think about ways to indulge your evil desires.
That's it.
Period, point blank. That chapter covered a lot.
Yep.
But you have to understand that the Lord put the authorities in place to fulfill his will. It's also his will that these authorities that he put in place are going to say some shit that's going to trigger the elect to be like, hell no, absolutely not.
Right.
And that's going to trigger a set of events that's going to usher in the kingdom of heaven.
That's it.
Okay? So yeah, stop at the stop sign. Pay your taxes. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to that Revelation 13,
when
you come to the image, the beast, and the mark, draw the line.
That's it.
You got to draw the line somewhere.
You got Jake.
Israelite groups tell you to just do what he said, just bend over and roll up your sleeve and all this fuck shit.
Yeah, man.
Get out of there.
Yep. That's
Get out of there.
That's it, man.
That's what I'm saying. You got to draw the line in the sand somewhere. Sincerity is in this planet.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
Yep. Nah, hey, well, that's pretty much it. You know, Lord willing, this is edifying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a blueprint on how you conduct yourself, man. You know, don't, and you know, like I said, this damn devil, and these churches and these fuck you call them, plantation Christianity, they're gonna try to use this chapter and for you to actually go out and get pricked, you know. But through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai, hey, we've covered this chapter. All right, the understanding is out there. Beginning with our apostles on down, the understanding is out there. So it's gonna get to the point where the deceive and the deceivers are his. You know what I'm saying? But it is a way you're supposed to conduct yourself in this ministry. Okay. But with that, we'd like to give all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah, Kodash, Brakathum, a double honor to our apostles, great millstone. Salutations to the Akim, who's pushing his troops with sincerity. All right. Love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. Shalom, Abba, Baba.
Shalom.
Yes, sir.